My name is Sarah Shim. I'm 27 and I'm a color analysis expert for a living. I got my color analysis done in 2017 when it was trending in Korea, and the results were absolutely shocking. It was completely opposite of what I thought and what I had been wearing at the time. I just got so mesmerized, and that's how I started my journey in color analysis. For my full-time job, I'm a buying analyst at a fashion company. Yoni Color Studio started more as a passion project for me. The name Yoni is actually a nickname from my Korean name, which is Haeyeon, and my best friend always calls me Yoni. Creating a space where we get to share what we love has always been a dream for both of us, and before starting my studio, we were chatting, and my friend just said, if you open your studio, you should call it Yoni Studio, and it just stuck like that. It's definitely a space where I get to share more like creative and expressive side of me. So that's how it became Yoni Color Studio. Color analysis has been around since the 80s. It started becoming popular again on social media as Korean culture got more popular. A lot of US tourists would visit Korea and get their color analysis done. So I thought it just made sense for there to be a studio in LA too. Thankfully, that's how I got like fully booked since the first month of opening my studio too.
Sarah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Kirbie.
Once my clients come in for the session, there's two parts to our consultations. I start with a short intro, and then we go straight into the draping process. Have you heard of like warm tones, cool tones, undertones?
Yes.
Okay. Warm tones are the colors that have yellow as the base color, and cool tones have blue as the base color. So after we look at the undertones, we'll look at saturation, brightness, and chroma. So we'll see if we like more softer colors on you or more vivid colors. And we'll see brightness to see if we like darker colors or brighter colors on you. And chroma is the clarity of color. So we'll see if we like more muted, dull colors or more clear and sharp colors like Barbie pink or emerald green. This is the chart we're gonna use to find your palette.
Oh, wow.
And we'll find one best circle for you.
Oh, and each of these different seasons. Wow.
Spring and summer share white as the base color. You know, like in art class, when you like add more white in the paint, the color gets brighter. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. And summer and autumn share gray as the base color, and they're the muted palettes. And autumn and winter share black as the base colors. So there's deep autumn and dark winter palette. Which palette do you think you usually gravitate towards the most?
Probably this one for me.
I think I probably go more towards these shades.
I've seen you, a lot of like in these colors on your podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't really
We don't match.
match.
We never coordinate.
You know, we want to express our own personalities, and it always works anyways. You know, we're a good match regardless. So, but it would be fun to know, you know, what our complementary colors would be.
Who wants to go first?
I will.
When I do the draping, I prefer to do it separately on each client, but when we review results, I prefer to do it all together because when you understand other people's palettes, it's easier to understand yours too. We're gonna start with spring colors and summer colors to see our undertones first. So these are warm tones and cool tones. And if you see right below your eyes and right under your chin, you can see cool tone brings a little more purplish grayness out a little bit more. And then in warm tones, you can see the shadows get a little softer. If you see on your cheekbones too, warm tone brings a little more glow on the high points of your face. And cool tone takes the glow away. The draping process is where I get to see multiple colors on my client to find the color palette that best enhances our client's features. And the second part of the session is more focused on reviewing the results. So that's where we go over some like makeup and clothing recommendations based on our client's best palette. Cool and warm, and you can see warm tones a lot more lively.
Yeah.
And cool tone gets a little too harsh on you. Overall, I like warm tones a little more.
Okay.
So we'll compare spring and autumn to see what type of warm tone you are.
Okay.
Growing up, my dad was an engineer, my mom was a teacher, so I wasn't really exposed to very many industries other than more like traditional STEM industries. Well, I actually studied biochemistry at UCLA to become a doctor, but it was actually while I was in school when I realized a job is not a title, it's something that you have to live every day. I remember one day I just sat in front of my laptop and searched online what kind of jobs are out there and what can I really do consistently. You don't have to get certified to legally become a color analysis consultant in the United States, but I decided to get certified in Korea. I trained for a month in color theory and then participated in about 20 sessions with actual color analysis expert and the clients. and also did a 20 to 30 minute presentation on my studies too. After I learned color analysis and got my certificate, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to start my own space. As I met more clients, that's when it became an actual business. The clear colors do bring a little more grayness out compared to muted autumn, which evens out your skin tone a little bit. And overall, the powdery colors do make it look a little more sophisticated. So when we look at medium saturations from spring and autumn, you can see spring, it brings a little more redness out. And here too, you can see muted autumn. Evens out your skin tone, makes it look a little more smooth. So I'm leaning a lot more towards autumn. In Korea, beauty standards are a lot more strict, so clients are fine with the consultants telling them what to do. It makes it easier for them. But here in the US, there are more diverse trends, so I try to give more flexibility to my clients. Balancing the science behind color theory and the emotions my clients could have with colors is really where my role comes in. I always make sure to explain technically why the best palette is the best palette for my client. But even if a color is technically flattering on them, if my clients don't feel happy in those colors or if they don't feel like themselves, that's what really matters. I've had clients who were not happy with their palettes for sure. I always explain to my clients color analysis and best palette is nothing more than just a tool for them to utilize to shape how they want to feel or like shape their identity. When you really open up your mind, that's when you can really see how colors affect on you. I think that's when the consultation becomes more empowering than just informative too. Since you don't have any color in your hair, we don't have to cover your hair and we'll just go straight into draping. So these are warm spring pinks on you with yellow as the base color.
Okay.
And cool summer. Which one do you like more?
I prefer the warm, I think.
Warm does feel a little softer on you. Because Kirbie and Sarah come from a little bit of different background and culture, it's easy to mistake that they'll have completely opposite color palettes, but it's really not the case. And that's what really makes color analysis experience so unique and fun for each person. So when we look at low saturation and high saturation, you can see low saturation washes out a little too much. High saturation makes your features look a lot sharper and more defined. So I definitely like more colors on you. The biggest challenge I have as someone who has a full-time job and also a side business is definitely managing time and my energy. I want to make sure I have energy and be ready to meet my clients when I have appointments. And I also want to make sure I'm giving my 100% at my full-time job. So I try to section out my day as much as I can. In the morning on weekdays, that's usually when I have time to like handle more administrative stuff for my business like emails and finances. After work on weekdays in the evening is usually when I have time for more creative work for my content. And on weekends, that's when I have the most appointments with my clients and any events for color analysis. My revenue stream for this business come from client sessions and pop-up events. Client sessions can range from $140 to $250 per person depending on the type of consultations. And pop-ups are more by hourly rate. The rates can vary from $400 an hour to $1,000 an hour depending on the size and type of the event. Darker, deeper black base colors flow a lot more harmoniously into you if you see your neck compared to the spring color, which pops a little bit and makes your neck look a little more pale.
Great.
Compared to the black base.
Yeah. I feel like these two are my favorite colors.
This is like a little more pop of color and this is a little more like nighttime. Here are your result cards. You're both autumn.
Yay!
Kirbie, your best palette was muted autumn soft. Your second best palette was muted autumn dull. Try to stay on more like brighter, softer side of autumn. And for Sarah, your best palette was deep autumn. Second best was strong autumn. So we like richer, bolder, vibrant colors from autumn on you. So for Los Angeles events, you can go for more dusty pink, salmon pink, peach pink, or even dusty rose. And for Sarah, you can go for more coral pink, more vibrant pink, or even red. You guys are both autumn, so there will be a lot of overlapping colors too. So it'll be fun to match.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
I can show you some fashion and makeup recommendations based on your color palette.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll show you some celebrities in your palette. When Sarah and Kirbie first came in, or when I just saw them on Los Angeles, I actually knew they were gonna be a similar palette. They're both autumn, so they're in the similar bigger group, but their palettes within autumn are actually the opposite. When I work with celebrities or influencers, I feel like there is a little less pressure on me because I've seen them in so many different outfits and colors, so I kind of have an idea of like what group they would fall under. I created the deck based on what I would have wanted to see in my first color analysis consultation. My first color analysis was in Korea and it was a lot more scientific and technical, so it was hard for me to really apply those colors in my everyday life. I try to provide more practical examples for my clients. So my deck includes some color theory, celebrity examples, makeup inspiration, fashion inspiration, and actual fashion styles. I try to incorporate as much trend as I can. I hope Yoni Color Studio empowers my clients. I get so many positive feedback from my clients. They would like email me telling me like it really transformed their life. It's crazy how impactful these sessions can be. For Kirbie, I think her results were a little more surprising to her than it was for Sarah because she's so used to wearing stronger colors or darker colors, but her best palette was more softer, muted pastels. And for Sarah, I think it was easier for her to accept the palette because she feels comfortable wearing those like deeper, bold colors from autumn.
Can you send this over to us?
Yeah,
I will.
So we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I hope it was fun.
Yeah, it was. We learned a lot. Thank you.
There are times when I feel the pressure to scale up my business, but I always try to go back to why I started and keep grounded. It's definitely not just about profits. It's more about providing a space for me to express what I want to express and giving my clients the time and space to learn about themselves. For anyone who's interested in starting a color analysis business, I would say don't compare yourself to other people. Don't look at numbers too much and just do it your way. These sessions can be a lot more emotional than you think, and you're not just there to give them the numbers and data, you're there to consult them and hear their stories. So be more open-minded, be positive and thoughtful. To learn more about color analysis, check out my page at Yoni Color Studio on Instagram and TikTok. To watch more videos like this, subscribe here.